Hi, this is Jean Richie here at the Royal Bank in Orleans, and I'm here with Guy Bourque. He is a broker, so anybody that's looking to buy a property, Guy will be here to help you. So one of the questions we have is, like, what do you do to help your clients and guide them through the buying process on the financial side?
Yeah, so what we do is we have clients come in and basically assess their needs and assess what their final buying number is, given the income that they make, the debts that they have, what they have behind them. So basically we have someone come in, we financially advise them, and we send them out there with a number that they have.
Oh, that's great. That's a great first step for sure. So one of the questions is, why did you become a mortgage lender, mortgage broker?
Yeah, I started with Royal Bank 21 years ago, and I was on the commercial banking side, and I dealt a lot with self-employed individuals, and I always wanted to go in that route. So I was given this opportunity by RBC to be a broker specifically with RBC, but I don't have, I'm still technically an employee, but I still have that rush of being able to drive my own income and being fully commissioned, and it's just, it still gives me that edge.
No, that's definitely great. What is the most memorable experience you've had with one of your clients, either just recently or a little while back?
Yeah, so I think it was the first couple of years I was on the job. I had a lady that came in. She was an immigrant of Africa, and she came in and she had 4 or 5 kids, and she was living in a small apartment, and she came to us looking. She really needed to buy a house. I mean, she just outgrew her apartment, and it was a tough approval based on it was a single income household with 4 kids, and at the end of the day, when we were able to put her in that house, I remember calling her up, and specifically when I was talking to her on the phone, there was about what felt like a 5-10 second delay after I gave her the good news, and you can actually hear her sobbing on the other end, the tears of joy. So it was really actually one of those moments that you really felt good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something that makes the difference. You're making a difference in somebody's life, and it's really great. One of the things that when people do decide to either buy a house or sell a house, what's the first thing they should do before anything else?
Well, the first thing you should do is you should always come in and have an assessment done based on where you're at, what your household situation is like, and see what you can afford. Before you sell a house, you need to know what you can get into on the other end. You don't want to sell your home and only to find out that basically you can't get any more than what you've already had. So you should always come in, get an assessment, get some financial advice so that you know what you can afford and what you can go after out there, and is that exactly what you want, and when do you want to do it?
Yeah, for sure. And we hear all kinds of different stories out there in the real estate industry, and one of the things that, people, they buy a house, they have their approval, they're ready to go. What are a few of the things that they shouldn't do once they get, the green light from you?
Well, Jean, from being a realtor, that in our world, it's not over till it's over. So, it's not a success until the actual deal closes. One thing is to get it approved, but we have to get it to funding. So the biggest thing is, I guess, not to be frank about it, but just be good, stay good out there, because if you got to remember that an approval is an approval. But if there's any substantial change or any material item that we have to go back in and change, we have to reassess your file. So I wouldn't go out there and buy a new car. I wouldn't go up there and load up some debt or celebrate and get Visa cards and MasterCards and everything else. Just remember, your approval was based on the situation at hand when we had you approved. So just make sure that you stay good until you close that home and everything's done.
Yeah, no, that's definitely great tips for people that are buying. We are talking about the Orleans area, so I know you live in the Orleans area, you work in the Orleans area, so what's your favorite thing to do in the area?
Well, so I'm what you would consider a blended house. So my girlfriend and I live together. We have 5 kids. 2 are off to university, but we have 3 boys at home. So lots of sports. I coach competitive hockey, involved in the community that way. I grew up with sports, so that's basically where you'll see me. Anything in the area that has anything to do with sports, we're usually there.
Excellent. Just another quick thing, just to get to know you a little bit better. What would be the most random thing you would have watched on Netflix?
On Netflix, okay. So we have 3 boys at home, 14, and 16. So when it's just the guys, sometimes we can watch something that's just the guys show, as you would call it. It's called Mrs. B and Her Boys. So it's a slapstick comedy, a lot of read in between the lines, what you would probably consider dirty humor. So it's just something that my boys fell on, and actually I do enjoy watching it with them.
So, and just again with the boys, I'm sure you're pretty busy. What would you do for fun?
We do lots of skiing, snowboarding, hockey, competitive hockey. I coach hockey. Just Friday night, actually, we all went on the canal and went for nachos after. So it's just we have a fun house. Everybody's active, and we just enjoy spending time outside. In the summertime, I have a pool in the backyard, so we have a lot of staycations, and we just enjoy hanging out.
Oh, that's good. So, last question is, what would be your favorite hockey team?
So I grew up in the East Coast in New Brunswick. So growing up, we were in my house. The boys, we were Boston fans. It was an Anglo community, so it was always Boston versus Montreal, and we were so close to the New England states. So all our channels back then, we didn't have randomly 75, 80 channels. It was just the basic 13 channels. So we got the Boston network. So we grew up Boston fans. My dad was French Canadian, so he was Montreal. So we wanted to go against Dad. So we went Boston, and but now having moved to Ottawa, and my kids enjoying hockey, we've become Ottawa fans. I'm a season ticket holder with the Sens, a proud season ticket holder, even though they're not having the greatest year this year, but definitely an Ottawa Senators fan.
Yeah, go Sens, go. So now that you know a little bit more about Guy and what he does and how he takes care of his clients, we're going to put in his contact info, his email, his phone number. But feel free to reach out to Guy, and if you have any questions on anything else, we're always available to answer any of your questions. Thanks for watching, and take care.